So we had a pretty solid opening, so I'm not sure whether I should talk about what I wanted to talk about, or should we go back to this, because this was more fun. Um, and then I always love listening to Usha. I was just saying to her before, it's great to see her again. We were on the same panel last year, so it's wonderful. So again, in fact, and I'm just going to reflect a little bit on what Usha was saying. Digital Citizen Summit. This word digital has really taken off, hasn't it? It's being used by just about everyone anywhere. Anyone can find a reason to use digital, they do so. For example, we're today at the Digital Citizen Summit at an event organized by the Digital Empowerment Foundation. So I found that slightly amusing in terms of the play on the word digital. But what struck me when Usha was speaking was this whole issue about what digital means and how sometimes technology is being imposed on people. And I think we had that here in India to some extent after the demonetization drive, that you had people were forced to go cashless. So even someone who had never probably used some sort of computing device, be it even a smartphone or whatever it may be, or a vendor who was selling something, they had to get digitized because there was no other way they could take or receive money unless they would walk around with 10 rupee sacks of note in big sacks, so which didn't really make sense. Let me take a slightly wider view of this whole digital thing. And I must say, it really concerns me. So we at the Internet Society, of course, we're all about the Internet being growing, evolving, changing people's lives. But I think for a very long time, we spent so much time, not just us, but a lot of our colleagues and partners at the global level and regional and national level, talking about all the good things about the Internet, but sometimes we forget to talk about some of the implications of the Internet, what effect it has on people. And again, the classic thing, we want to all go digital, we want to go into a digital economy, but have we actually asked everyone, do you really want to be a digital citizen? Is that how your life is going to change and what impact it will have? Now, research, issues, papers, reports say going digital will improve our socioeconomic status, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But is it an equitable increase in that socioeconomic status? Because we start getting into that issue about have and have-nots again. We have been trying to close the digital divide for literally decades. But I fear we're creating new digital divides in this drive to go digital, to go into technology in all its grandeur. And I'll give you a very simple example. If you look at the security aspects of being online today, of being digital, how many of you use public Wi-Fi, for example, perhaps here or at a cafe or wherever it may be? Okay, pretty much just about everyone, right? How many of you use a VPN when you're on a public Wi-Fi? Okay, not many hands going up. Okay, so that means when you're on a public Wi-Fi network, you could be very easily hacked. Someone could be monitoring you. Yes, you may have that little encryption thing that the coffee shop or whatever gives to you, but that doesn't mean you're protected. All that is protecting the link between your box and the box that's providing you the service. Your actual data is not being protected. That could be listened in anywhere. So why don't you have a VPN service? One, you may not know what it is. Two, you may not be able to afford it. Three, you may not actually be able to have access to install something of that nature because you may not have a credit card to pay for it. There's an yearly subscription, or as we see in many parts of Asia in particular, you have a credit card, but because the provider is from the US or Europe, your card gets rejected, right? So there are these sort of challenges that I don't think we're talking enough about. You go and read all the literature that says, protect yourself, be secure online. But have you actually told people who don't quite understand all this technology, how is it they can go online? How is it they can pay for it? And then your average person on the street, let's say a rickshaw driver in town here, can he really pay the $10 US a month for the VPN so he can be safe online while he's sitting at a cafe or outside his cab rank or whatever it may be? It's not really the case. $10 US is a lot of money. Then there's the issue about affordability that pops up as well. And there's so many issues. I mean, I could go on and on and on. So that's why I have some concerns about digital, not in the sense that we shouldn't go digital, but we need to measure where we're going, how we're going, and are we ensuring that everyone around us has that equal opportunities in the digital world? Because that's, I think, somewhere we are failing. Not just me and you, but I think all of us are failing in that. And if you look at governments in some instances, there's certain countries that I work with in the region, they've got such a huge drive to digital, but sometimes when I go into these meetings with ministers and regulators, I say to them, you know, it's great you're going digital, but this morning when I woke up at the hotel, there was no power. So it's nice going all digital, but if there's no power to power the digital world we want to live in, how are we going to function? In this country, it appears it's become fashionable now to shut down the internet just because a dog barked in the night. You know, it's literally coming to that stage. And it's not as if it's just in one state or one part of the country. It's all over the place. You know, you want to be a digital India, you want to make the digital stuff in India, and you want to be a cashless economy. I'm sorry, boss, but without the internet, if you keep shutting it down, it ain't going to happen. Okay? So let me stop there. I think we'll have other interesting interventions from others. So thank you very much.